Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
What are the tribes going to be? Sexy pool floats?
Yes, like naked lady pools.
Inflatable
Turn 'em
women,
on.
maybe?
Let's talk Devils and Islanders. Let's talk Penguins and Rangers. But let's not talk about Flyers, because they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny.
Episode 122 of the Friends and Rivals podcast coming at you live and hot. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. Joining me each week are
Even Wojtowicz.
William Fougere.
Nicholas Larita.
that joining me each week thing was a little misleading since we haven't done a fucking show in almost a month.
Steve's fault. Steve's fault.
My bad. Tom's fault too.
Well, we were supposed to be done already, and that's why I planned my vacation. We were all done.
Oh, right. You planned your vacation around the podcast.
Absolutely.
Okay.
1,000%.
Right.
I would absolutely plan my vacation around my podcast. Of course I
I'm
would.
sure.
Well, I don't know how many we're going to do in between now and training camp. I don't think we're going to do it. My August travel schedule is really crazy pants. So I don't know how much we're going to do. So this is
language.
What?
Watch your language. You said
Already?
the crazy P word.
We're trying to tone that down.
We're trying to. I wasn't.
He doesn't even know
I
what
on
he
that
said.
text.
He has no idea what he said.
Listen back.
What did I say?
He has no idea what he said. I can't believe you said it too, but whatever.
Nick, what did I say?
I didn't even hear you, honestly.
Attaboy. Thanks for listening.
Doesn't listen after it's recorded. Doesn't listen
wait
while it's
till-
recording.
wait till you
What's
hear
the
this.
difference
Nah.
for Nick? That's all I'm
Wait till you
saying.
hear it back.
It's just a chance for me
Waiting.
to have some bourbon.
Yeah, it is actually. Billy, he knows what I'm talking about. He's got me.
All right, so I'm not quite sure what the hell we did talk about last, but the draft happened. I know we didn't talk about that. So who drafted first? I think Bill, you guys drafted first. So you go ahead. You talk about your draft. Was it good?
Who
How
did
are your
we
lottery
draft?
tickets?
That was like weeks ago. We got Chuck Yeager, I think.
I don't.
Oh,
know.
Jaeger bomb, right?
I don't think that was his name.
Oh yeah, they picked number 14. They went with a forward who gosh, I feel like I read up on this so long ago. Yeah, so he's a forward who they think they think he's got a great shot, but they don't think he's otherwise very creative in the offensive end, but they are hoping that he'll develop that because they do think he's a workhorse kind of player who's going to be a real good defensive forward, and they think there's potential offensive upside there. But yeah, he was projected to go higher. They feel like if he had a more productive offensive season, I think the offensive numbers wherever he was playing before were a little bit underwhelming. But again, like they like his physicality, they like his size, they like that he's a workhorse and could be like a shutdown kind of forward. So hopefully he develops that way because the Penguins have not had much luck otherwise. But at least they stayed away from the Quebec Major Junior this time around.
Nick, do you guys have a first round draft pick this year or no?
We had no first round.
You had
We
no
had a first round pick for 4.
Their GM is Lou Lamoriello. He doesn't believe in first round picks.
He likes to trade the first round pick for anything not tied down.
The Rangers did have a first round draft pick, and they chose Gabriel Perreault, which was all the experts are saying there was a surprise that he was there at 23. And he led the development program in points. He actually broke the record held by Austin Matthews. They say he doesn't skate very well, but everything else he does is good. And that development team had on it 2 other draft picks. One was from San Jose, and I don't remember where the other one went, but they're all 3 of them who played on that line together are all going to Boston College together. So for the next couple of years, he'll be playing with those guys that he broke records with. And so keep my eye on Boston College games next year for sure.
Yeah, I don't think they come down to Princeton But every now and then they do. I guess they'll play Connecticut. Maybe
Yeah.
might be interesting to get up there to see a game.
I don't even know how their schedule even runs to know if they would play Princeton or somebody close. And Rutgers is not a
No.
thing yet, right?
Not yet. No.
And the Devils did not have a first round pick.
Devils
right?
did not have a first round pick. Their first pick was number 58 overall. They took Lenny Haminaho, Finnish player, right wing. And the scouting report on him was he does everything average. Which
That's great.
I guess is good because he's just got to keep developing everything. Like
Right.
it's not like he's got an outstanding shot but can't skate, or he's a great skater who can't hit the net. He's just average. But right wing is,
He could be the next Lafreniere.
yeah. I mean, I know at that point you don't draft for need.
That's assuming Lafreniere is average, right? Bill, calm down.
I know at that point you don't draft for need, but he is a winger, which is definitely an organizational need. They seem to overdraft at center, expecting then I guess to move people around as they develop. But he's a right winger, which is nice.
You think it's easier for centers to move to the wing, or
Yeah,
wingers to move off wings? It's probably easier for center, right?
I think it's
I would
easier for a
say-
center to move to a wing. Yeah.
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 All right. So Nick, who the Islanders prize get at the draft?
Well, it has to be their second round pick, 49th overall. 6'3" center named Danny Nelson, who looks a lot like Brock Nelson in that sense that he's a center, 6'2", 6'3".
Is there any relation?
Does a lot of there's not
Okay.
not any relation. U.S. player. If I remember correctly, I think he's from. I want to say he's from Minnesota, but I don't remember. They don't fucking say it in their
Well,
draft.
he'll
stuff. So
eventually
anyway,
want to go play close to home in St. Louis. So eventually,
Well,
one day.
he's a guy that's definitely a few years away. It looked like he's got a good shot, but big center power pivot, kind of player, but not looking like a lot of. He looks like a safer pick. He doesn't have any specific trait that looks like he's that he can just kind of use and leverage, like skating or some amazing vision or anything like that. It just looks like a top end, could be a 2-3 center in the league, number 2 center. If you
That would be great. Yeah, I mean
develop
that's
so well.
to get that at 49 is outstanding.
Yeah, it'd be
But
huge.
that's top end. He's
Yeah.
probably closer to
Third
third,
line.
fourth line. Yeah. It was most likely in top out in third line. I mean, listen, I don't think this is a really deep draft based on what we're seeing from a lot of the prospects, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Isles did some other draft picks, but
Yeah,
No,
listen, all those they're all like literally lottery picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all lottery picks.
You get a lottery ticket. Maybe this guy cashes in
Yeah.
as a third or fourth round pick, and you make like $50 on him. And then
Yeah. Isles went for size. That was what I was going to say. There's everybody except for one guy of the 5 they picked were all 6'1" and up. Yeah,
It's the only thing you can't teach, right?
that's right. That's right.
So are you surprised that there wasn't as many deals at the
Very.
draft this year? I mean,
First
sure,
round,
you had
no
people
deals.
jumping up in the draft and things like that, but no like major players or deals were done at the draft.
Everything. Well, first round, nothing major happened.
Yeah. That's what I
Before
was
the
more
draft,
referring to.
Yeah, we had some deals in the before the draft, and then obviously the first round was surprisingly nothing. Everybody stood pat, which was surprising. It was a lot of chatter, and looked like some phone calls going on, but nothing changed at all. It seemed like everybody's kind of maybe it's because of the weakness of the draft, but or maybe teams just felt like handcuffed with the
Salary
with the
cap.
cap.
There
Yeah,
was
it's just
reports on the
kinda
Twitter
weird.
that GMs were not making deals because they were such a good player at their pick that they just went ahead and picked. That's what at least was they were saying on
I
Twitter.
mean, Nick said it, Billy said it, and it was reported for the Devils as well that the teams were surprised that player X was available at their spot. So
Yeah.
that's probably why.
Yeah.
It
You're
could happen that
absolutely
way too. You know, everyone's draft board looks a little different, and so when the guy drops to I think he's the top of your list, it's usually like, hey, that's the guy we want. So
Yeah.
it could have just worked out that way.
You think the Ducks are going to regret not taking Fratelli at 2?
I would.
Yeah,
I would. No question.
I'm going to regret him playing in Columbus.
Yeah, I know. Why are so many Michigan players ending up in fucking Ohio State country?
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
yeah. Fantilli, he looks good. He looks like
Yeah.
he's gonna be a good player for Columbus and
His
they-
name,
Anaheim.
what's his last name? Did I call him Fratelli?
Fantilli.
You did call
I did.
Fratelli. But usually that's a Nick
I
thing.
thought-
We rely
I
on
thought-
Nick to do shit like
I
that.
thought you were
Yeah,
ripping
come
off
on.
Nick. That's what I thought you were doing.
Don't say pronouncing names.
But that he's a legit number one in a lot of years. Fantilli's a legit
Yeah.
number
Yeah.
one overall.
Yeah, Bedard is clearly the guy this year, but Fantilli was looking really good. It's surprising that Anaheim went and took Carlson, but hey, they're both centers, they're both
It's
talented.
that home run
you know.
swing, you're trying.
Yeah, they look at him, they see a Draisaitl or a Kopitar. That's what they kind of see, I guess, when they look at him compared to Fantilli. But listen, go with your scouts. Scouts,
Yeah.
they used to watch guys all the time, and they saw something, and we'll know in a couple of years, if it was the right choice or not.
Yeah,
I
the
was gonna say,
Rangers had hired an assistant, and one of their assistant coaches was for the American National Junior Development Program, and that was evident in their draft by taking Perot and
That
defenseman and stuff like that. So
this guy's input was taken.
Yeah, no
very
doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, there was a lot of players in that development program for the US that did get drafted.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there was a good crop of players in there for sure. But listen, I can't wait to see how the Rangers fuck up Perot. So
Me too.
should be very, very exciting
too.
in 3 years. Should be exciting. All right. That'll just about do. Well, actually, no, one more thing. So they have Bedard's goal output set at this year for 32.5. You get the over or the under?
Over. I'm going over. I never go over.
Shocking.
I think it's an under easy, but
I do too. I'm definitely going to take the under on that one. I think he's going to score 30 though.
Good.
Basically, you think he's going to score exactly 30 then?
Yeah, I do. I think he's going to score exactly 30.
I don't think it's 30.
I will join Bill just for symmetry.
Ooh.
There you go.
Ooh.
But I think he will score 33.
Oh.
I think he's just gonna make it.
Yeah, that's it right there, right? 33.
I think he's going to score 32.6.
I don't
Wow,
know.
yeah.
You can't score 0.6 goals. Even if you assist on them, it doesn't count that way, Bill.
Not even if it's
Does
like a
it?
shootout goal. What does a shootout goal count for?
Nothing.
Oh,
Negative.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know about negative, but it's absolutely nothing. And one final thing on the draft. This is really final.
This is
now.
the third. This is the
Honest
third
to God,
final.
this
thing.
is final now.
Third final.
PSPS. PPS.
Nick,
PSS.
how was the bucket of chicken and the Pepsi?
I was good. It was good. Ben and we went to we were out to
Hooters?
Bojangles and picked up
oh.
way too much chicken. Because they don't have like normal. I mean, you could get like a 3-piece or something, but I'm always like, I don't know what I'm gonna get. How much should I eat? And so I get just like
A 20.
It's
A
like
bucket
12.
of 20.
it's like 12-piece plus it's like
4
3 of each.
sides.
Yeah, exactly. 3 sides, but they're massive. So we got like double mac and cheese and mashed potato, and you get a jug of the sweet tea, which is just like neither of us. We just didn't take it. We're like, nah, we're good. I think maybe we did take it. Maybe we gave it to Nora. Nora likes it, but
Just sugar
Yeah.
water.
Yeah,
I
but-
don't know how many pieces of chicken I will eat, so just give me one of everything you have on the menu, please.
that's kind of how it went. So I mean, it's like one of those things. You're like, should I get 2, 3 pieces, or just get like the full enchilada? So get the
Or
enchilada.
everything.
Yeah,
They have
was
enchiladas
good.
too.
Yep, yep, it was good. We
Starving,
chowed
like,
down.
any enchiladas in here?
We chowed down on that before we watched the draft. It was a good time.
Nice. Okay, that'll
So one
that'll-
final thing on the draft.
that'll put a nice bow on the NHL entry draft. And let's move. Let's talk about a little free agency. Let's take a ride in the Metro. Sponsored by Rich Wholesome Nestle Quick. Hello, boys and girls. Do you hate the taste of regular milk and need energy? Try Nestle Quick. One sip and you can feel the energy in your muscles. Nestle Quick, now available in chocolate and strawberry.
They say the real men drink pink. Then I'm a real man for sure. But if you like the brown, I still love you for who you are. Because it's time for acceptance of everyone, all preference. We're all quick on the inside anyway. Nestle Quick, it does the trick.
We'll start with the Icelanders. Nick, how did the Icelanders do in the free agency market?
Well, like I expected, it was going to be very little additions, and some re-signing and trading of Josh Bailey, which are all things that happened. What surprised me was maybe all of the guys got re-signed, which was something I didn't think was going to happen.
Yeah, you didn't think Mayfield was coming back.
I didn't, because I thought he was going to be too expensive.
Yeah, he took the term over the.
We'll talk about that very shortly. But first, Josh Bailey getting traded was kind of the precursor to all this. Right before the draft, he was sent out with a 3rd-round pick, or sorry, a 2026 2nd-round pick for future considerations. Ultimately, getting bought out, and he's basically a free agent now. I don't know if he can come back to the island if like there was no one else there and he just decided to come back. I don't know how that works, but considering Isles didn't buy him out, I think it's possible, but I don't foresee it happening. It seems like he's gonna try and sign probably with a somewhere he can play. That was what he really wanted to do, is play another year, play his contract, and maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just retires with the money he gets from being bought out. That buys us $5 million this year. We didn't have to obviously buy him out, so nothing on the cap there. Gave the Isles about $10 million in free space to re-sign effectively Pierre Engvall, Scott Mayfield, Ilya Sorokin, and who extended Ilya Sorokin, which was a surprise, and then also re-signing Varlamov for another 4 years. So the big thing here was all term. They re-signed Varley for 4 years, which was surprising, because I thought they would sign him for maybe the minimum for a couple of years, just because him and Sorokin are best buds. But they brought him back for 4 more years. So he's going to be 35 right now, 39 when his contract ends, for 2.75 mil a year, which is higher than I was hoping for. Because I knew that the extension for Sorokin, which eventually I figured would be like sometime this year, but they were like, he's our franchise goalie, he's getting signed right away. So they extended him, which doesn't start till next year, 8 by 8.25. So we got Sorokin for 8 more years coming up. So he's signed through 9, which is with this year at 4 mil. Then next year the contract starts. So the goalies are signed. We have 11 mil in goalies signed for next 4 years, 3 years, I guess. This year is the last year of Sorokin's previous deal, so a little less. But it is concerning because it's going to be an escalator for the goalies when the forwards and defensemen don't really come down much in the next couple of years.
That
And
Sorokin
then-
contract, Nick.
Yeah.
Boy,
yeah.
that makes fucking Shesterkin look like a bargain right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not even a bad deal. Like Sorokin, I don't feel bad about that deal at
No,
all.
I thought he's
you know?
worth, he's probably worth more than $8 million.
I think so. I think the problem is that him and a lot of players getting just really jackhammered here at the cap, not
yeah.
really much teams can do. So then that leaves us with Scott Mayfield, who I was surprised we re-signed. They brought him back in for 7 years, which is a lot of years for Scott Mayfield. He's 30 right now. Brought him back for 3.5 a year, flat across 3.5 the whole time. He's that's a lot. I was hoping he'd be coming back at like 2.5 if they re-signed him at like a hometown bonus, a hometown discount. But I guess the whole idea was Lou went into the whole, we'll sign you guys long term and you bring your cap down. Maybe he was asking for 4 and they got him to 3.5. I mean, I liked having him back. I just didn't think we could afford him, but that's a lot of years. And then the last deal was Pierre Engvall for also 7 years at $3 million. Pierre's 27. He's a little younger. Doesn't make the 7 years much better. But the thing with Engvall is he's 27 and he's a big, he's tall and he's rangy and he's a fast skater. And I don't think his speed's gonna go. He really gets it from. He's not like a small explosive guy. So he seems like he should probably not fall off too much. And he really played well with Nelson and Palmieri last year. I'm excited to see him with a full year on the island because I think he's, pretty interesting player. We'll see how it works out. But the problem is with all this is just, it's a ton of term. 3 guys signed for 7 years plus, and then Mayfield for 4, Varley for 4. That's a lot of years. And there's just nobody really coming off. We only have Martin and Clutterbuck coming off next year, and Sebastian Aho, who makes less than $1 million a year, and Cal and Martin combined make $3 million a year total. So I mean, you're looking at $4 million coming off the books next year. That's it. And then
but you're also looking at probably about a $5 million increase in the salary cap. So your $4 million turns into 9 really.
We'll see. It could. But it's just that there's not really flexibility with all these long deals because you're just kind of like you can't do much, and everyone's got a modified no trade or a no trade clause. And so my point is going to be that this is the team, and if they can't make it happen, it's going to be really, really difficult to make any moves because there's not a lot of flexibility. There's not guys with shorter contracts. There's a couple of things that could happen. Like for instance, there was Styles were supposedly in on DeBrincat, and they had supposedly or reported they had offered to trade JG Pajot and Oliver Wahlstrom for DeBrincat. DeBrincat would be like $8 million or whatever he signed for. I think it was around that a year. And Wahlstrom and JG would combine for about just under 6. It would have been taking more cap on, but they would have been able to move Barzal back to center, move DeBrincat up to the top line, have basically a switch a winger for a center or a center for a winger. Didn't work out, and it may be probably better in their best interest. I'm not super sure that was like the right move. It seemed to be a good idea, but it's a lot of money for DeBrincat. I'm not sure that's the right guy you wanted. So that didn't happen. They also signed Julien Gauthier, who was a Ranger at one point.
Have fun with him. He's gonna do one move. He's gonna try and beat the defenseman around and go cut in front of the goaltender, but completely fuck up the shot. It'll be a beautiful move, and he'll do the move, but he just won't score. That's his move.
I was reading he's like Grabner. Lots of speed.
What?
Can't finish.
No. He's nothing like Michael Grabner. Michael Grabner was a far superior player than him.
Okay. Well, not the guy, not the same.
Oh,
I
but it doesn't
mean,
even kill
listen,
penalties. At least grab their killed penalties.
all right, he doesn't kill penalties. That's not great. He's going to be a bottom 6 guy for us. So I mean,
Yes.
I don't know if he can't kill penalties. It's not great, but we'll see what happens. With that, we have a lot of guys. We have a lot of forwards signed.
But he's got a ton of speed. He's got a ton of skill. And if you get him
Yep.
in the right system, who knows what can happen, right?
Yep. JP, not JP. Parise, Zach Parise is still unsigned. He may or may not resign. If he decides to play another year, Isles will make room. Likely they'll have to waive Ross Johnson, who has inexplicably 3 more years on his deal for $1 million a year. Thanks, Lou, for that one. And when eventually, I guess if that happens, that'd be a positive thing. Outside that, though, really don't see much else happening unless they look to move Pajot to somebody else to try and get a different winger. But it's really looking like, Wallstrom will be back on the team after his knee injury. Basically cut his season short last year. He'll probably start the season with Pajot and Fashing on the third lines, but I'm thinking, assuming that Lee and Horvat and Barzal play together. So really not much different. We get back Wallstrom, we get involved the whole year. Sorokin is now locked up long term. I hope we can get Parise to come back for one more year because he was great with us and scored 20 goals and was just put his heart on the line, all of his effort out every game. You can't go around with a guy like that. So if he comes back one more year, I think we got a pretty grindy lineup to put out there, and hopefully Lambert can figure out how to make it work because he's got very little leeway with what he's got going on. So that's the Isles.
Moving over to Pittsburgh, you guys gonna get Carlson, Bill?
That's been the question since I don't know, around draft day. I think I don't know when these rumors started flying. If it was draft day or like first day of free agency. It's so long ago. I
Yeah,
can't
it's
even
right
remember when
around
it
that
actually
was the
started.
same time, right? And the reports are it's either Pittsburgh or Carolina is going to get Carlson.
Or nobody. You can keep San Jose can always keep their guy who just won the Norris and scored 103 points. They might find a spot for him as well.
I don't know. It's hard to find a spot in the lineup for a guy like that, Bill.
Yeah, so
He's
Penguins,
very underrated, right?
He can't play goalie. He's not that good. Come on.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it certainly would change the look of the Penguins if that move goes through in so many ways, because there would have to be a lot of impact to the roster as it's currently constructed. Right now, the Penguins have 9 defensemen. Tell me if you heard this one before.
I've heard that's last year. Is this on replay from the beginning of the season?
And I think that's mostly because I think Dubas really wants to move Petrie, Jeff Petrie, who's their highest paid defenseman at like $6.25 million a year, and is also barely maybe a second line guy at this point, maybe. So it's a bit much to spend for a second line guy. But that was one of those gifts that keeps on giving that Mr. Hextall left for us. But yeah, if presumably if they do move on Carlson, I think Petrie would be dumped any which way they can out of Pittsburgh, and probably Granlund would have to go too to make room for that salary, as well as the actual players that San Jose might be looking for in return. So we'll see where that goes. We'll have to stay tuned on that one, and I guess when we get to training camp next season, we'll know what happened or not. But Dubas, yeah, I mean, free agency came around, and he was wheeling and dealing more than we've seen in recent years in Pittsburgh. He had a little bit of cap room to play with, not as much as he would have if Hextall, partially, you got to give him partial credit for the cap room that the Penguins were having going into this offseason. But then he brought in, the Petries and the Granlunds of the world, who represent like $11+ million in salary on the team, and are probably third line guys at their respective positions. So, but anyway, they did have they had more money to play with than they had in a while. They did re-sign Tristan Jarry in goal, which, I don't know the answer in goal. I've said that like the last few times, they had to do something in goal. Was it? And it looks like they're going to go with Jarry. They are saying that Jarry, now they're trying to come out and come clean about what Jarry's injuries issues were last year. They are saying that there's no truth to the rumors that there's some kind of degenerative hip issue, that he had tweaked his back in training camp last year. It lingered throughout the season, kind of flared up on him, and now he's saying that he's addressing it, that he's trying to work specifically on strengthening it in this offseason. Who the hell knows what the truth is? I don't, it sounds plausible enough, because sure, your back can come and go. I've experienced it. Nick's experienced it. We've all experienced back issues. I think, you get to that age. But Jarry, like I said, like if Jarry does manage to stay healthy, then I think they got a bargain with him. If he's in and out of the lineup like he was last year, then they still got a problem there. They did go for more depth in goal this time around. They also signed a couple of free agents to kind of presumably start in the AHL. Alex Nidjel, that guy. Nick, help me out with that name. Alex Nedeljkovic.
Nedeljkovic.
I like that. From Detroit. Who probably got a bad rap playing in front of the Red Wings when he did get a chance to play. So then defensively, their big signing there was Ryan Graves, former Devil, who I remember saying, "My God, everybody just skates all around him in the playoffs."
Yes.
But then all you guys were saying it could just be the system. He was a good defenseman in Colorado. So I'm hoping you guys were right, and my senses were failing me when I saw him, not impress me in the playoffs. But he's presumably going to be the first line pairing left D guy, replacing Brian Dumoulin, who has departed. And then at forward, we also saw.
Wait. What other former Devil defensemen did you guys either sign or re-sign? Wasn't there a few?
Will Butcher and Ty Smith.
There you go.
We're loaded with them, and Will Butcher and Ty Smith are our 8 and 9 defensemen that I was referring to before. So yeah, still
they're going to be really good for you guys in Scranton.
I that'll be better in Wilkes-Barre though.
And then at forward, the Penguins lost. What was his name? See, too much time has gone by since the season. Jason Zucker.
McCann or Zucker?
Zucker's gone. And in came Riley Smith via trade with Las Vegas, which was a good deal. Picking up,
listen, you did nothing but bitch and moan about your third and fourth line last year. This is a guy who probably could definitely help that for sure.
I disagree, because he's going to be on the second line with Malkin. There's no question he's going top two lines. Yeah,
so you're not going to move Jeff Carter up and put him down to third.
You look at this lineup and tell me who else you think is going to go on the second line. Yeah, no, I think he's a replacement for Zucker, who was playing alongside with Malkin. I think I think he's a top two line guy for the Penguins next season. But yeah, to address that brutal third and fourth line that they had last season, they still have Carter, thankfully, for another year. Hooray! But they shored it up there with veteran center Lars Eller and some guys, former Maple Leafs, Noel Acciari and Andreas Janssen, who was also another former Devil. But Dubas, definitely dug back into his former Maple Leafs talent pool and was signing guys there. Also, Matt Nieto re-signed. Alex Nylander still on the team, who looks like he was ready to take another step there with the Penguins. So they've got some new blood in lines 3 and 4, and hopefully Dubas has some idea what kind of identity he's looking for out of those guys. So I do think the Penguins are a better team right now. And then if they manage to move any of that salary, that dead space with Granlund and Petrie, and Lord knows if they manage to bring in Carlson, then they should be significantly better this coming season. So that's Dubas's off season so far. Stay tuned.
I do think they're way better balanced, but as you mentioned, I think it's all going to depend on how Jari plays. I know I'm going out on a limb.
No, yeah, he's. I mean, he's in the last couple of seasons when he's been locked in, healthy. He's looked among the top goalies in the game. He was an all-star a couple seasons ago, and he deserved it. But yeah, it just depends on if he's, I guess, how he's feeling, and hopefully this stuff that he's talking about with working on his back, hopefully it works. Hopefully he finds a way to be in the lineup and healthy. Hopefully he's learned something, and physically he could, kind of put that into action. We'll see.
So moving over to the Rangers, their Chris Drury's offseason has been a little bit more active. As Bill mentioned about Pittsburgh, Drury's offseason has been a little bit more active. I didn't think we were going to get a lot of signings, especially on the first day of free agency, but Drury moved quick. And one of the, no pun intended, one of the first moves that he did make was to bring a Connecticut boy back to the organization as a backup goaltender. That's Jonathan Quick. I hated Jonathan's Quick game the past 2 years, and I don't know how serviceable he is going to be for the Rangers, but at least he's a veteran presence who's been there before, who can give leadership and all that other bullshit. So we'll see what Quick does, but he came on a really, really team-friendly deal. He's one of these guys, and we're going to talk about a couple more of these guys that are just these bottom of the barrel, kind of dumpster diving, 35-year-old plus guys who can get bonuses, and Quick is certainly going to be one of those guys. It comes in with an $825,000 a year contract with some performance bonuses that can be tacked on to next year's cap. Moving into the forwards, and this is probably where they have their prized free agent signing of the offseason, and he comes as a buyout, and that's Blake Wheeler. He's going to solidify at least a little bit on that right side and give us at least a little bit of organizational depth on that right side. And he comes cheap. Very, very common theme throughout this whole thing. In fact, Jonathan Quick is the most expensive signing that the Rangers made in the offseason at $825,000. He was tied with one of the other defensemen. But these are the type of players that the Rangers need to get. And we talked about it on the last episode about these buyout guys who you got to kind of take a chance on and see what they still have left in the tank. And I think Wheeler still has something. He's got at least some size and some net front presence. So that gives you a couple lines with Kreider and now with Wheeler about guys who can just stay in front of the net. They did become a lot older and a lot slower in this process. Wheeler wasn't the only guy that they brought over. A veteran journeyman, Nick Bonino, who I always admired from his days in Pittsburgh and being on a lot of good playoff teams, come and solidify that fourth line center role and be really good on faceoffs. Other guys like Tyler Pitlick, Alex Bazile. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his last name properly, but these are the type of guys that you're going to get with this lineup, who is very top heavy with their stars and these guys who are already making money. So it's going to be turnover on the third and fourth line. How far Wheeler plays up into the second and third line is really going to depend on Lafreniere and on their new coach and Peter Laviolette and how he works these young guys. So I hope that Wheeler plays the majority of the season on the third line, and then Lafreniere and Kakko get the majority of the looks up front, because I think you're going to need those guys to do that. Look, Hedel, Lafreniere, and Kakko are the only guys right now penciled in that are going to be under the age of 30 in your lineup. it's unbelievable how 2-3 years ago the Rangers were the youngest team in the NHL, and now they're slowly but surely inching their way up into the upper echelons of age. On the back end, there wasn't really much that you needed other than to solidify your bottom pair, and they did that with Eric Gustafsson. They have Zach Jones, who has a one-way contract, and another guy named Connor Mackey, who I don't think I've ever heard of. They're all going to be battling for that last defensive position. I think Gustafsson kind of has the edge there, but Zach Jones, you got to, again, this is a young guy who you brought through your system, who you drafted, who played very well in Hartford last year. I think you got to give him an opportunity to come up and play. On the restricted free agent signings, they did well getting Miller under $4 million, I thought, on a 2-year deal, $3.87 million for Keandre Miller for 2 years. They don't buy anything into his unrestricted. He will have arbitration rights the next time or when his contract is over. And Lafreniere is still kind of up in the air. For a guy who has been penciled in since about midway of the season to make $2.5 million over 2 years, this contract has taken an awfully long time to get finalized. So I don't know if it's on Lafreniere's side or if it's the Rangers trying to get him down even further, closer to the $2 million mark, which would be great. But I think you got to pencil in Lafreniere at $2.5 million over 2 years. And listen, you have no room for anybody else. So this season, or this upcoming season, is going to be eerily similar to the season the Rangers had this year with acquiring cap space. And they got to hope to God that with all of these older guys that they're bringing in now, that they stay relatively healthy so they can just keep acquiring cap space so you can go and make the necessary moves you need to make at the trade deadline. So this year is going to be very, very similar to last year. It's going to be interesting to see how these new guys fit in, how Wheeler solidifies that right side, what the young players do, Philip Hedl, Capo Caco, Alexei Lafreniere. It's going to be, I've been saying the same thing for 3 years, because the cap has been such a constraint that we have not been able to really do anything. And like Nick had mentioned before, this is the team that we're going to get for probably the next 2-3 years. With just some fiddling down the third and fourth line and a little bit on defense. This is your team for the next couple of years. They're definitely in win now mode. So we'll see. So I think with what Drury had, I think he's done a pretty decent job of bringing in the right players at the right amount of money in order to have a very serviceable team next year. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Steven, New Jersey Devils.
I will sort of start where you left off, and that is Heischer, Bratt, Hughes, Hamilton, Marino, Meyer, and Siegenthaler, all signed for the next 4 years. So, pen them into the lineup now. Outside of that, the offseason has seen them trade for Tyler Toffoli, trade away Sharon Govich in that deal, let Wood walk, let Graves walk, trade away Severson for a draft pick, and then sign Meyer, sign Bratt with that money. And then once free agency hit, all they had to do was they just went searching for depth pieces. So they signed Chris Tierney, who's a center, to a 2-way deal. They signed Colin Miller. He's going to be that 6th, 7th defenseman. And then they got a backup, a goalie, again, just an insurance piece that they can stick down in Utica should something happen to Vanacek or Schmid. He's ready to come in. It still leaves them with $4.8 million in cap space. And I really want to see them try and get a reclamation project that can fit in the top 6 on left wing. I know Tarasenko is still out there, but I'm sure he's not going to sign for that little. Tomas Tatar is still out there, knows what it's like to play in New Jersey. Maybe if he'll come back for for on a prove it deal at 3.3 million or 3.5 million, I would be fine with that. Hell, I'd even be fine if they threw a couple $1 million at Zach Parise and tried to lure him away from the island just to see if you can catch lightning in a bottle. You know, maybe playing on a top 6 role with a Hughes or a Heischer, we, you know, can set him off again. So top 6 again is pretty locked in, but I still would like to see them get one more guy, get another winger, so that way we could move Mercer down to 3rd line, either center or wing. I just feel like if you have him on the 3rd line, that just solidifies your top 9 now. But I'm ready to go. It's, and then to round out the roster, it's going to be either a Holtz or a Nolan Foote or a Graham Clark, or again, maybe this Chris Tierney comes into camp and shows these kids, something, shows him he really wants to be in the lineup and beats one of them out of a spot. You look intrigued by that.
I got a name for you. You want a reclamation project?
Yeah.
You want a project who has failed everywhere he's been at?
Oh, wait.
Jesse Puljujarvi.
Full party.
He doesn't want to come back over, though, does he?
He's available. It's either that or taking a chance on a player like a Josh Bailey. Bailey might fit in your system better than a Puljujarvi, for sure.
I think so. He come for
I do too.
Nothing.
So again, it's just filling out those last couple of spots. Kevin Ball is still an RFA. I'm sure he's going to get signed before this, before camp starts.
I thought he was signed already.
No, he's the lone remaining RFA that hasn't signed.
Shit.
They lost Boqvist to Boston. They re-signed McLeod. They re-signed Bastian, and that just left Kevin Ball as the lone RFA.
Maybe it was Bastian. I saw. Maybe it was Bastian.
Bastian got 2 years at 1.35, which was a little shocking that they give him that extra year. But maybe they're figuring the cap goes up in 2 years, it won't even matter.
Were you upset that they didn't go out and try to get another goaltender?
That Hellebuck
Well, at least
thing,
they haven't yet. They haven't.
The Hellebuck thing is still hanging out there like it's going to happen. I'm not upset that they didn't go out because the goalie market, I think people overpaid for a lot of the goalies that signed. So I was really wasn't upset to see them waste that money.
Yeah, I don't think they should get Hellebuck. I think he's going to ask for 9.
He wants 9, yeah, and that's that, and you're going to have to trade prime assets to get him in the first place.
Yeah,
and then overspend to re-sign him.
Seems like a bad idea.
But he does. So here's my take on it. If the cost isn't a Luke Hughes and a Simo Nemec, just an astronomical ask, you got to go for it every year you can go for it.
I agree.
You have to. Because you could say the window is just opening up. I don't think they're going to repeat what they did last year. I don't think they're going to be a top 3 team in the league again. Right? They were the 3rd best team in the league points-wise last year. I don't think they're going to repeat that. So if overspending a little bit to get a goalie is what gets them back up to maybe 4th, 5th, or 6th best, then go for it.
I think Luke Hughes is an untouchable. I think Nemec is not an untouchable. And I think he probably at least would be asked for in the deal for sure.
I would agree with that, and I wouldn't be against parting with him, but only if you then have that guaranteed re-sign contract, not at 9.5, at like 8.5. Somewhere closer to where your goalies are.
Well, mine's a 5.5.
Well,
again, a bargain, but I think 8.25 is what Aaron Sorkin is making now, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's 8.25.
How old is Hellebuck right now? Is he someone said 31? Is he 31?
He's
But
old
isn't-
enough that he's going to be an RFA. Yeah, I mean,
He's 30 now. So
Thing is, though, Shesterkin's only signed for 2 years, and he's a UFA. So I mean,
well, he had when he signed the contract though, it was 5 years at 5.5.
but what's that
which was
next?
a good deal.
What's that next contract?
His
gonna
next
look like?
contract is going to be 9.5.
Right?
Easy.
Especially in 2 years.
Yeah, but he's still going to be relatively young.
he's 27 now.
So
Okay, so
he'll
he'll
be
be
29.
29,
They're both-
30. He'll be
they're
at
both
right around the same
27.
age as Hellebuck is.
Yeah, if he signs, listen, he signs around what Sorokin signed, but let's say, I mean, I guess he'll probably do 8 years, but if he did 6 years, their contract would be the same term.
You look at a team like Toronto, they got double-digit players, players making 10 million or more. You look at Colorado, they got double-digit players. Our highest paid player is 8.8. And that was the deal Meyer just signed. So again, maybe he comes, again, 8.5.
Hamilton, right? Hamilton's making 9.
Oh, right. Yes. I'm sorry. I forgot about Doug. Yes. But all right. So 8.8
But
to 9
even
million.
still, yes.
Right. Not, it's still between the two of them, that's $2 million extra dollars per year that you can put into somebody else. I think with a goalie who's consistently at that upper echelon level, that's always consistently in the Vezina conversation, it bumps them up into the upper echelon of the league.
Is there any surprises
No,
out
it
there?
does.
Was there any surprises that you saw? I didn't see any real big surprises.
Outside of
Free-
the Tarasenko deal falling apart and him
Yeah.
firing at his agent, I mean, that was
Unbelievable.
That was
That's just crazy. Yeah.
Crazy. That's clearly like the crazy deal. I mean, we didn't see
Yeah.
Hellebuck move. We didn't see anything yet. But like, maybe we'll see a couple of things later. But I think that was the wildest thing. And he still hasn't
I
signed,
don't know.
right?
I don't know.
He
How
signed?
about a player that has gotten bought out twice in the past 3
Oh.
years
Jeez.
in Tony DeAngelo?
First guy?
Oh, wow,
First
that's-
guy? to
First
be
guy in
bought out
NHL
twice.
history to get bought out twice.
Or Galchenyuk. Galchenyuk.
Oh yeah.
That's who
Oof.
when you said you were going to throw a reclamation project at me, I thought for sure that was the name you were going to throw out.
I don't think anybody wants to take a chance on him right now.
Who's going to touch him now?
I'll give him $775,000.
Yeah, maybe.
It's what he's going to have to take.
What did Tarasenko turn down? But that was
I
it
don't
reported?
remember what it was. But it was enough to fire his agent for sure.
Yeah, this is the post was saying that he was unhappy with the 5.5 to 6 mil a year, which would be I don't know how much they go for him.
Yeah,
He's
I don't
30.
think- I wouldn't do more than that. Right.
I think that's the right. I
No.
think that's the right amount. Honestly, I don't think he's worth more than that.
No, definitely not.
Well, hey, look, the Ducks need to sign what 6 more players and to get up to the cap floor. They're what $8 million under the cap floor right now. So if you got anybody to trade, give Anaheim a call.
And now it's time for Trivia with Bill. Ugh.
Now this is the wrong bell.
We are? We're really doing it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Alright.
We are just under an hour.
Okay. So today's question is, who was the first woman to get her name on the Stanley Cup?
Betsy
Samantha.
Ross.
Samantha. It wasn't Samantha.
Paulina
No,
Gretzky.
not Betsy Ross either.
Paulina Gretzky.
No, she didn't get on.
Janet
the cup.
Jones.
No, not the first woman
she
to
held
get her
the cup.
face
No, but
engraved
like-
in a piece
Not the
of
first to have
glass.
sex on the
Yeah, I would imagine they did bang in the cup.
Oh.
You gotta
Makes
think
sense.
that's happened more than once, right?
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah, how
mean,
many
the
people have had a
size
day
of
with
it.
Cup?
I mean, nice petite ass sitting in the cup. I mean, it's perfect size. It's perfect height. It's perfect everything.
Manon Rayom.
No, it was not men on.
You'd rather go answer trivia than have that conversation. All right.
Yep.
Yep.
I would have said Manon Rayom as well. That man. Oof.
It's got to be Illich's wife. It's got to be the wife of an owner. I'm guessing, or something like that.
Wouldn't it?
Sure,
wouldn't-
why not? Why not,
Why
you
wouldn't it be
chauvinist? Why wouldn't it be
an
just some?
Yeah, no,
Hey,
it's
no,
not
no,
somebody who
wife?
deserved it. They definitely didn't do anything to earn it.
Brittany Cecil.
Oh wow! Ouch!
What the fuck?
Ouch!
No.
That's worse than sex in the cup.
All right, can we go to
Listeners,
the-
do not Google that. I'd be very
Straight-
disappointed in Tom.
straight to multiple choice on that one?
I made the sign of the cross before I said it.
Amanda Kessel.
No, didn't get her name on these.
Phil Kessel.
Amanda Hug and Kiss.
Amanda Bynes.
Is there Amanda Hugging Kiss in here? I'd like
He
Amanda
said-
Hug and Kiss.
I got him to say it. Yeah, let's go multiple choice because this could be all night.
Please.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you yet. Yeah.
A. Marie Denise de Bartolo. B. Marguerite Norris. C. Marion Illich. And D. Sonia Skirfield.
Marion Illich. Isn't she a tennis player?
No, she's the wife of the Illich, the owner of the Red Wings.
I'm gonna say the second chick. The
Yeah, I'm
Norris
gonna
chick.
say the second chick too.
The
Or
Norris
a third
chick.
chick.
It
Second
just-
chick is correct. Marguerite Norris.
Norris. It sounded
Who was-
French and the Norris Trophy and
Not just somebody's wife. She was the first female hockey executive in the National Hockey League.
you have more information to back up the answer?
I was looking at it because you were. She was an executive for the Detroit Red Wings.
Executive assistant.
No shit.
Um,
All right.
What year does it say?
I don't forget. 1955 championship season.
Wow.
There it is.
Wow.
I have
Oh, come on. We don't-
prepared for
we don't have
everybody.
time for this.
Oh, we do.
No, we don't.
Bonus
No.
movie
What's trivia?
hard trivia.
Movie.
Movie.
Hard? Wait, what?
Bonus sports movie trivia.
Okay.
In particular, The Sandlot.
Oh God.
Ooh.
These
All
are
right.
5,
The Great Bambino.
I think, very difficult questions
Oh shit.
from
Okay.
The Sandlot.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
So
We have
let's-
homework.
Wendy Peppercorn.
Let's see.
The
No,
hard
That
no.
one.
was pretty
story.
good.
What was Benny's middle name?
The Jet.
Grover.
No, no. He had a real middle name, Bill.
Grover.
No.
It was the Jet. That's it.
Bur-
Franklin. Benjamin
Franklin is 1000% correct.
Wow.
Ah.
Okay.
Every
Where-
fucking kid named Benjamin's gotta have fucking Franklin as
Where was Small's father going on a business trip right before he stole the Babe Ruth ball?
to replace the steak he had to put on his eye.
No. He was going on a business trip. Where was he going?
Chicago.
Chicago is correct.
It's-
Oh my
so is
God, you guys
Chicago.
are losers. All right. What was the beast's name? That's a gimme.
Oh,
That's a gimme. Come on.
Babe.
No.
Hercules.
Hercules is
That
correct.
was
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Makes more
There you go.
sense.
How
Good
much was the ball they bought to replace the Babe Ruth ball?
96 cents.
No.
25 cents.
No.
76 cents.
Mm-mm.
5 cents.
No, it was.
It's perhaps more than that.
Dollar?
20 cents.
Was it in the 90s?
It was in the 90s.
And it wasn't 97? Was it 97?
Nope.
Well, it took
96?
place in the 90s?
You said
95?
96 already. No.
94?
No, this-
99
movie-
cents.
93?
You
the
fucking
movie took-
dodged it.
Hold on.
92?
Hold on.
No.
The movie took place in like The
I said
70s,
them all.
isn't it?
You did not say them all. You missed one. I
98
didn't hear you.
cents.
98 cents is
I
correct.
said that first.
No, you said 96 cents.
And then I went up to 98
my
and then I
God.
went
no,
down.
you went to 97. You're gonna laugh when you listen back.
Probably not.
And Nick has been alluding to this. What year in the movie, right, did this take place in? What was the year? It was the year
70.
Maury Wills broke the stolen base record. So if you know that,
5
no,
72?
nope.
No.
that was in the 70s.
You can see it on the
58?
Founders Day banner.
58?
No,
No. 60.
1961.
no,
60.
no,
59.
Is it-
1963.
no.
No, because they got really into the 60s later on.
1969.
The two
Nope.
he says the two kids got really into the
69.
60s.
All right, so 57.
52.
Nope.
Yeah, Maury Wills wasn't playing.
50. It had to be late 50s then.
I said-
59.
Nope.
58.
Nope. If you said it already, I might not
57,
have heard you.
56,
because you and
55,
Steve talked
54,
over each other.
53,
So if you did
52.
say it already, I'm sorry. What, Steve?
I just said all the years in the 50s.
Wrong.
61.
Really?
No,
60.
no,
64,
no,
63.
no.
65,
Fucking believable. You named
48,
everyone but the number.
1927.
No.
2000.
Oh,
44.
man.
Yeah.
68.
No.
67.
Lower.
61.
66.
Lower.
65, 64, 63,
Lower.
62, 61.
1962. Correct.
I think we said that. I think
I
you're gonna have to
said
listen
60.
back.
I know.
I said 62 6
I'm not
times.
sure.
Well,
you
if you're
said
gonna
it-
fucking ask the
you guys were
questions, you
talking
gotta
over each
listen.
other.
If you're gonna ask the
Yes.
questions, you gotta listen for the answers.
Well, you guys were talking over each other. It's very
That's-
hard.
that's-
when
that's a
someone
you
says
problem,
Adam
not a me
Graves,
problem.
I can't hear it.
That's a you problem. Speaking of problems, we're all gonna have a problem because you know what it is time for now? And now it's time for impressions with Nick.
Fucking great. Ladies and gentlemen, the Friends of Bravo podcast. You're ready for the fastest 2 minutes of this Type 45 show. It's the 20 questions power play. The rules are simple. The group has 2 minutes to guess a famous player, coach, front office, or any famous player person associated with one of the 4 Friends and Rivals favorite teams. The group can ask up to 20 questions in rapid fire. Answers will only come in the form of yes or no. The group will have to make a final guess once they've hit 20 questions or the power play has expired. If the group is successful, they win for the week and avoid shame for unable to win at a children's game. And away we go.
Is this player associated with the New Jersey Devils?
No.
This is
Person
player associated with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yes.
Person associated with the New York Rangers.
Yes.
Is this person associated with the New York Islanders?
Yes.
Penguin, Ranger, Islander.
The Darius Kasparaitis.
No. A good guess.
Oh, really good guess.
Is this player a defenseman?
No.
Player or forward.
Yes.
This player played in the 2000s.
No.
Player play in the 90s.
Yes. Yes.
So maybe
Player
7.
played in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 80s, 90s, forward. Rangers, Islanders,
Penguins.
Kevin
Forward.
Stevens.
Ooh.
No.
I don't think he played for the Islanders.
Oh, I'm gonna have trouble figuring out anybody who played for all 3.
Marty Straka.
No.
Thomas Sandstrom.
Nope.
This player an All-Star.
Yeah.
Luke Robitaille.
Nope.
Was he better known for playing for the Islanders?
Yeah.
Patrick Flatley?
No.
Fuck you laughing at?
Ray Ferraro.
Nope.
Ooh.
Peter Ferraro.
He was definitely not an all-star.
Chris Ferraro.
Phil Bork.
Ooh. Phil Bork.
Oh, wow. You guys are well off. Yeah, kick yourself for this one.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No clue. I got nothing.
Brian Trottier.
Hey, Billy, with the slapper at the end.
Brian Trottier. Holy
Coach for the
shit.
Rangers, it wasn't he or something,
He
right?
coached for the Rangers, associated with the Rangers. He didn't
Oh,
play there.
fucking technicalities.
Sneaky.
Well, you know, I thought you'd have an easy one here. He's kind of one of the most prominent Islanders and won 2 cups of the Penguins. I thought he'd be pretty easy.
Worst coach in the history of coaching.
It's Trotier's actual birthday today.
Whoa.
So we never would have gotten it by doing research.
Wow. Billy with the friggin'
Correct.
slapper right at the buzzer.
Happy birthday, Brian Trottier.
Wowzers. Wowzers. All right, that's going to bring us to this date in Steve's stomach.
Oh, that feels better.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Round here, we're saving calories. Round here, we all look so lean. Round here, we enjoy Coke Zero, but sacrifice flavor, no. Round here, Coke Zero's the way to go.
It's going to bring us to the year of our Lord 2000. And really, was it 19? Oh, yeah. Did I not have this one? Maybe I had a different one. Because I have a completely different one and a different year.
Just give me the date
Yeah.
of whatever year that is. No one's going to hold you to it.
No, yeah, nobody's gonna go back.
Nobody's
and figure out
fact checking you.
who banged in this weird place and
Oh,
try to
no.
correlate
I
it with what
okay.
happened to
I got
Steve's.
it. I have it
Okay.
right here. I picked the wrong thing. I'll save that for no, maybe not. No. Okay. Go to June 17th of 2019.
June 17th was a Monday. Coke Zero can and a Belvita breakfast bar. Grilled chicken Caesar salad from Wawa for lunch. And a Coke Zero 20 ounce. Afternoon snack was a king size whatchamacallit.
Oh,
Because
the
we
best.
had probably done our episode around then of top 5 candy bars. Dinner was a barbecue chicken sandwich and
Probably
a
not.
can of Coke Zero.
Definitely not.
What?
I'm not sure we did it in 2019.
I don't think we were doing a podcast in 2019.
All right, wow. Then I'm just a fat fuck. What do you want me to tell you? Why did you pick Monday, June 17th in the year 2019?
Well, listen, I happened to find another one of these fucking weirdos,
What a
believe it or
shock.
not.
Florida?
And no one knows how to have a good time like a Florida man. Am I right? All right. But if you're looking to liven up your summer pool party, definitely don't invite Christopher Monin. He's moaning.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you know, these are quality jokes that you're not laughing at, mind you. The 35-year-old Floridian was arrested for stealing dozens of pool floats around the Palm Bay area. Why pool floats, you ask? Well, to have sex with them, of course. According to the Miami Herald, the Palm Bay Police Department suspect Monin is behind a whole crime wave of missing pool toys. An estimated 13 cases of stolen pool floats have been reported in the Palm Bay area just in 2019. The city has been plagued with burglaries. During these burglaries, police exclaim the suspect cuts the screen or otherwise enters the victim's back pool deck area and steals only pool floats. That's right, only pool floats. According to the affidavit, Monin broke into some of the homes multiple times, but the residents didn't report the theft to police until the second or third instance. Police finally stopped Monin as a suspicious person on Thursday, June 13th, around 1 p.m. in the 1:30 in a.m. in the morning. At the time, Monin was riding his bike down the street with a white garbage bag full of deflated pool toys. At that point, it was a pretty safe bet that the police had caught the culprit. Monin added that he had been storing the stolen pool floats at a vacant house across the street from his own residence. Monin allegedly told police he sexually gratifies himself with the pool floats. According to Monin, he does this instead of raping women.
Oh, admirable.
Yeah. What a guy.
Our second pool float fucker.
Our second pool float guy. I could not believe it when I found it, that there would be multiple of these fucking people.
Are there like 14 women in Florida, and that's why all these people got to do weird shit? Like, is there's just not enough women to go around?
14 women under the age of 83. Yes.
Whoa. Police found several distinctive floats among Monin's ill-gotten collection, including a large yellow duck and a float shaped like a piece of bacon. He also had
got any bacon in here?
He also had a float shaped like a sliced watermelon and a Shaquille O'Neal branded inflatable lounger. That's weird. Along with other lounge chair style floats.
So many comments. I don't.
Oh God.
Monin,
why did you have to mention that? Never mind.
Already an ex-con with a history of burglary, may have topped his rap sheet with this ridiculous, troubling crime spree. Yeah, he was held in jail with bond set at $16,000.
Oh, 16,000.
That's what happened June 17th, 2019. Anybody remember the name of the guy in Ohio who did this?
No, but I'm sure you do.
No, I have no idea.
Definitely didn't have that great last name, Monin.
No, he did not.
Oh my God. I'm so glad we all got done in under an hour so that we had time for that segment to be done.
Well, all three segments were stellar tonight. What are you talking about?
Right. Yes. There were 3 segments. You're right.
Well, the additional 3 segments.
That I don't how do you look at something like a pool float and just get that?
Well, how do you deflate them quick enough? Do you steal them, take them out, and then deflate them, and then get on your bike and go away?
Oh, yeah, you got.
You sitting in the backyard trying to deflate those fucking things, because sometimes they're really hard to deflate.
It would make a whistling noise too as the air is coming out. You don't want to alert the homeowner that they're going to lose their precious $15 Walmart pool float.
Less than that. Probably less.
I feel like
you're in a pricey neighborhood.
Well, I mean, if you're getting a duck or a piece of bacon, might be a little bit more. And the Shaquille O'Neal, the lounger, I'm sure was astronomically expensive.
You specifically have to really consider bringing in your pool floats at the end of the night. Somebody will cut a hole in that screen
I have a camera all set up. I can't wait. I can't wait for this to happen. If it happens once, it's going to happen again. So I'm going to set out traps for him.
Traps.
Are
you serious? Oh
yes.
my God.
What are the traps going to be? Sexy pool floats? You know?
Yes, like naked lady pools.
Inflatable
turn 'em
women,
on.
maybe?
Oh, see, now you're onto something. To have one of those big, giant fucking teeth traps that come down,
Oh my god!
catches his leg in it. Ouch! No,
Oh god, fucking Florida's so weird.
listen, Ohio is just as weird. As it has been proven, Ohio, if not number one, is certainly number two.
No, number
Yeah,
two,
but what-
100%.
but-
Doesn't.
But why are you taking pride in then just saying I'm not worse than Ohio? I mean, Ohio.
I'm not.
Everybody knows Ohio is shit.
Not everybody. Johnny Hockey thinks Ohio is the best,
Johnny Hawkins.
and obviously close to New
that's
Jersey.
where his friends and family are. So
Fantilli's out of there. First bus he can get.
Telly, Steve. It's for Telly.
I'm sorry, Fratelli, right? He's got to go over to fucking the Goondocks in his what was it, off-road vehicle, ORV,
No,
bullet holes.
bullet holes, signs of matzo balls. All right. That's gonna do it. That's the end of season 3 of the Friends and Rivals podcast.
What are you fucking people listening to?
We will see you again in September. Don't forget to follow us on the Twitter at Friends_Rivals, Facebook, YouTube, Friends and Rivals podcast. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We will read them on the air if you want us to. Turn on notifications for the Friends and Rivals podcast so you never miss an episode. Billy, say something witty.
I'm noticing a pattern. Like every time Steve has a Coke Zero, somebody's out there fucking a pool toy. There's that. But it is the end of this season. So everybody go and enjoy baseball season. Last place Yankees. Yeah.
Cum or cremation?
No bullshit. No, you fucking asshole.
Oh, good, man.
Fucking
Oh,
jerk
That
off.
was the
Every
only way
time.
season 3 can end.
Tom.
Bye bye, so long, farewell. Bye bye, so long.